I really like the music in Tuliolal. It's so catchy. Hello friends, and welcome. If you don't know why there's no camera on, and you haven't checked out at least the start of the previous video in this series, that explains why I'm too ill, essentially, to appear on camera. And this is going to be chippy choppy all over the place in terms of stuff, because how much of this I'm going to be able to get done in one go is, I've no idea. An otherworldly encounter. Is this going to be tied to something from living memory? Say, aren't you Demajan? That certainly saves me a lot of trouble. I was asked to find you on behalf of Milaljar. Curious happenings abound in Mamuk of late, and we thought one with your worldly experience may be able to help us make sense of things. If you have time and inclination to aid us, she awaits you in Mamuk. You'll find her west of the plaza in the large building near the two-headed statue. Okay. In terms of where we were going to go to start this quest, Mamuk was not on my bingo card. This is what's-his-face's wife, isn't it? Thank you for coming. Truth be told, I was unsure if I was right to call on you, but the troubles we now face cannot be overcome with our strength alone. It all began when we found a fallen traveller in the sky-deep cenote. For mercy, his wounds were not life-threatening. His kind is not a common sight in these lands, tall and slender of build with pointed ears. He has yet to awaken, but speaks in his sleep of strange things that make little sense to us. It was our hope that you might recognise something in his ramblings, or perhaps even jog his memory once he regains consciousness. Might you be willing to speak with him? Oh, my controller isn't working. Oh, I probably turned it off because of that weird bug in 7.0. Leave it to me! And my funky tie. Is he an Elvan? Milaljar, the traveller stirs. Again, I'm no way I can do the voice acting. Very good. If you'd be so kind as to bring him here. No, he's not going to be an Elazan, is he? Or is he? If he is an Elvan, are they going to have done anything to him? Ah, that's the Koenig set? Makes sense that he's wearing it. No, they've just used the normal. We are glad to see you awake, and in good health besides. May I ask your name, traveller? My name? Looks a little bit plasticky. I'm sorry, I can't remember. Why are we so surprised by this? We've seen plenty of people with no memories. It would seem the fall has affected his memory. In any case, his presence here is a complete mystery to us. His armour the only hint as to whence he came. Does anything about him strike you as out of the ordinary? I mean, you can get this set in 14, so... Not much different from any other Elazan I've met, or would that be Eldites? Except he's an Elvan! Probably. Elazan? Eldite? No, that's not quite right. Ah! So he is from Vana'diel. There he is. I remember. I'm an Elvan adventurer. And you're Mamulja? Could it be I've come to Mamook? Yes, but not the Mamook you know of. Wait, if I'm a Mamook, then I must have been taken prisoner. You're going to see some of the parallels between 11's world building and 14's world building here. To so readily believe us enemies. Perhaps he comes from a land unfamiliar with our customs across the salt? No, I don't think that's it. I'm not so sure. We've no way to know for certain. In which case... Milalja, we must gather our strongest fighters at once. Why? What's happened? Galul Jar Jar's shade has returned. Wait, it can do that? It can just come back? It's been sighted near Gordrak Descent. Bakul Jar Jar has engaged the apparition, but I fear the worst. Huh? The vow of Resolve's companion from the feet of the Brotherhood. I suspect you would understand the graveness of this situation more than most. In recent days, the late Dawn Servant Shade has been seen wandering the woods of Yaktel. I have reason to believe it was invoked in like manner to the one used in the feats. But didn't you need the special pot for that? Only a privileged few of the Bunawar should be privy to the knowledge required to perform the rite. The culprit will be found in time, but we've a more pressing matter at hand now. I must hurry and inform the Landsguard. Bakul Jar Jar requires reinforcements. Dawn Servant Shade. I fear he may not hold out until the guard assembles. I am loath to ask your favour, but would you aid Bakul Jar Jar in this battle? Sure. I'm in your debt. Gordrak Descent is to the west of here. Please go and help my son. We're just leaving him there? Galul Jar Jar. A sword. And a shield. And a mitten. Okay. So the use of amnesia. I forget how much I love this mount. Not just because of the sound effects it makes. The use of amnesia as a trope in FF14 when it comes to the otherworldly storytelling bits is, it's a little tired, let's be honest, but realistically it is what it is and it does what it needs to do. You know, FF14 is very much a nexus for all manner of otherworldly bits and pieces, so there's no need to spend a load of time trying to come up with a rational explanation. I'm sure there are some people that would prefer one, but realistically, character has amnesia, he's from another world, it's one that I'm familiar with, although admittedly I did stop playing FF11 properly in... was it Treasures of Aht Urgahn? Probably, and then I came back a little bit for Wings of the Goddess, though I don't think I ever completed the story for that because everything in FF11 took a party. You know, I haven't played it since they raised the level cap from 75, for example. So that's, I know they've done a lot to make it much more solo friendly with trust NPCs and so on and so forth. I've not experienced any of it. I keep saying, oh, I should go back and do it, but it's like, I just know it's going to be not for me. Ah! I'd actually forgotten how pretty the update has made stuff. But cool. Get good. He doesn't look very shady. He looks quite solid. Pathetic. And you dare call yourselves blessed siblings. Ah, not bad. You might actually prove a challenge. If you come to help, best stay on your guard. He's not alone. Oh? Hi, Preesh. What is that outfit? Oh, what's this? Another monster in need of slaying. Don't worry, I'll send them packing. What is with your outfit, young lady? Nullifying dropkick! What is going on? Is this a misunderstanding, or is Preesh a villain in this? I can't explain why, but something told me I had to be here. And I've stolen... not bad. Not bad at all. It'll take more than a couple of tourists to stop me. Taurus? You daft girl. You can speak. A shame you don't seem to have any manners. Name's Preesh. You do well to remember it. Well, they've got a personality in check. The outfit, on the other hand, is a bit of a departure from what I was expecting. Ah, Preesh. Well, that's not going to help his memory. This is the Promathia battle music, isn't it? Not from the actual Promathia battle, but from the... Looks like I win! Oh. Ah, that's why she sees us as tourists. One tourist down, one to go. I hope you're ready. Ooh. Wait, what? At ease, Preesh. We've seen to our task. Come. Oh, do you think that's Ulmir? Okay, whatever you say, Ulmir. This is very messed up. Ulmir? Ulmir's the bard, isn't she? What is she talking about? Preesh, wait. Please, don't go. It's going in after her, I think. I'm guessing word of the Dawn Servant Shade is what brought you here. I don't know what that girl has to do with all this, but clearly she's aligned with whoever summoned them. Has she been tricked? Whilst hot-headed and in some ways a bit daft at times, Preesh was not a villain. The way remains open, and there's no telling where it leads. Even so, they can't be allowed to return. We have a duty to protect this forest and not see it torn apart by some two-headed imposter. Let's hurry after them, brother. Watch over that one, won't you? Hey! Preesh, what's happened to you? I feel like I should know who this guy is, and I don't remember. It's been over 15 years since I last played FF11, so... yeah, well over 15 years. Everything's still hazy, but I recall fighting alongside that girl. We were comrades in arms, I think. I can't remember who you are. But something was clearly wrong with her. She not only mistook me for a monster, but she called her two-headed companion Ulmia. The Ulmia I know is an elven woman, a far cry from the reptilian fiend we encountered. Something dark has taken hold of her. Would you say it has cast a shadow over her mind? I have to go and... ugh. I'll go after Preesh. You would put yourself in harm's... We have defeated gods, though admittedly you don't know that, so I'm not going to use that excuse this time. You would put yourself in harm's way for my sake? Thank you. Can you find your way back to... huh. I recognise that look. The eyes of a woman who's seen more than their fair share of battle. Yeah. Despite what Preesh has done, she was a dear friend to me. I'm fairly certain. Have care, friend. There's no telling what lies beyond that portal. Well, apparently Jeuno lies beyond this portal. The question is, are we going straight into the 24-man? Oh, we are. Okay. Don't know what the likelihood of being able to access this at this time of day is, but we shall see. 3:40 AM. I'm sure there's loads of people doing a 24-man raid at this point in time. Strange happenings in Yaktel have cast a pall of unease over the forest. After an armour-clad stranger was found unconscious in the Skydeep cenote, bereft of memory, the shade of Galul Jar Jar was spotted stalking the woods with a young girl. What appear to be unrelated events take a turn when Bakul Jar Jar confronts the Dawn Servant's shadowy imposter. The armour-clad stranger recognises the girl as Preesh, a friend seemingly turned enemy, who retreats with Galul Jar Jar's shade into the blinding light of an otherworldly rift. In search of answers and to safeguard Zvahl, Bakul Jar Jar bids you join him as he follows the incongruous pair to the unknown. Ooh. What is that? Oh, duty actions. And it says less than 5 minutes. I will believe that when I see it. So I'm guessing we're going to go to Jeuno. And after we are done... and of course this is the full raid, isn't it? There's not going to be a 3-stage thing. I was thinking for a moment that it would be like, you know, you do tier 1 and then tier 2 and then tier 3 and tier 4. It's like, no, it's going to be the full 24-man raid. As with all of the raids based on other FF games, the thing that I most look forward to is the music. And apart from FF14, FF7 Remake, and FF12, FF11 is probably, in fact, even with those, FF11 is probably the soundtrack that I have listened to the most, because I spent a long time playing that game. Don't get me wrong. If you look at my playtime in FF14, you know, I've been playing this since the alpha of FF14 1.0. So my history with it is it's 14 plus years at this point. But I don't actually know what my playtime is. Is there a playtime thing? 155 days, 3 hours, 7 minutes. Now, I am reasonably certain that my playtime in FF11 is longer than that, even now. And at one point, there we go, I knew I'd taken a picture of it. So, when one of the previous, in fact I've got the date on it, in August of 2023, they did one of the login campaigns for FF11. And I went through the rigmarole, and it is a rigmarole, of reinstalling Play Online Viewer and so on and so forth. Total time played in FF11, 229 days, 19 hours, 5 minutes, 28 seconds. Which is about, it's about 5,400 hours. So if you compare that with this, I've got 3,723 hours in FF14. And I've been playing this for a decade, but I didn't play it as religiously, well, as I did with 11. And in some ways, 11, it would be difficult to say that I played FF11 for 5,400 hours, because realistically, a lot of those 5,400 hours were just sitting around in Jeuno, especially at Christmas time, listening to the Starlight Celebration music. A lot of that time was sat waiting around LFG, because you had to in FF11. That was the way the game worked. I'm glad I took a screenshot of that. 5,400 hours. That's a long time. A while back, I was playing Diablo 3 and I tallied up my total time. And that came to about 3,200 hours or something. It was like, oh my god, I've played so much Diablo 3. It has to be the game that I have played the most. I was fairly certain it had overtaken FF11 and World of Warcraft at that point. I don't actually know what my WoW playtime is, but it's not 5,400 hours. So yeah, when this login campaign for FF11 came round, it's like, well, I'm not going to play FF11 because I won't know how anything works, and they've raised the level cap, and by 24 levels. Yeah, because it's 99, isn't it? I won't know how anything works, and yeah, and I don't want to pay for another subscription. I really feel like they should, add an FF11 sub in with FF14s, but they won't do that. But I thought, it'd been mulling around in my head for literal years at that point. It's like, how many days played did I have in FF11? But I never bothered to go through the faff of installing it and so on and so forth. But I'm glad I did, because that really does put into perspective just how much more patience and time I had in the early 2000s. I played that game a lot. But yes, I loved the music. I actually imported FF11. The UK version, the EU version, wasn't out when I played it, so I got the North American version, which, if any of you played 11 when it launched, you'll know that actually this caused me problems in the long run, because it meant I needed to get American versions of the expansion. Because this was before everything could just be purchased online. So I have a friend in Canada who was able to get copies of stuff for us. A friend in Canada that we met playing FF11. And we still talk to now and again. But yeah, he used to have to send us bits and pieces. And obviously I got my best friend into it. And yeah, he actually ended up not getting into World of Warcraft at the same time that I did, because he was die hard into some of the more kind of hardcore stuff in FF11, stuff that I never did. He was also really, really big into fishing. He got the Lushang's fishing rods, and he kept a diary and a log of good fishing spots and so on and so forth. It was very, very involved, and we still talk about it. We still talk about it to this day, and it is getting on for that time of year as we run up to Christmas, where we remember the Starlight Celebration music in Jeuno in FF11, because it was great, and it's still great, and I play it every single year around Christmas time because it just makes me feel Christmassy, even when I'm not otherwise feeling particularly Christmassy, which I haven't done for a couple of years. But yeah, the music is what made FF11 such a thrilling experience in many ways, because the game itself is very slow and not mechanically concise, shall we say. It's a much slower paced game. It was. I don't know whether it still is. So you had plenty of opportunity to listen to the fabulous music.
2 hours later.
Let me in! Let me in! Let me in! I want the music. What is that? The drone? Come on, tank. Come on, tank. Yes. Light party? Blinded? Ooh, that's a new effect, isn't it? Shadow Lord music. Oh wow. I mean, obviously it's floating somewhere where it's not supposed to be. Ah, they've properly recreated this. They've got the weird goblin-y things. I remember these. Ooh. I'm trying to remember where exactly they play this music.
Careful. That girl is stronger than she looks.
Oh, we're going to fight Preach in the first battle. Okay. Diddly-did-diddy. Oh, that is in fact the music they're going to use. Banishka.
Wait for it.
Oh, okay.
Is that all you've got? Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Okay, so you want to be just on the edge.
Nerfine drop kick to your fat head.
Well, they've got a personality, right?
Strength.
Oh, Tana, you say?
By the light of the dawn. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, we're just getting started.
Okay, spiky arena.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Oh no, that's not going to work, is it?
Auroral uppercut.
Oh, I'm going off the map there.
Man, is that all? And I was just working up an appetite.
Okay, so I need to figure out which of the...
Behold, the blessed power of Altana.
there was probably an icon somewhere for... Who knows?
Still kicking? 'Cause so am I.
Yeah, there was probably an icon for which colour I was.
You ready for this? Wait for it. Wait for it. Open your eyes.
Well, I mean, I survived.
This should do it.
Can't say I've...
Take this and that and one of these. Now we're having a party.
I've done feck all in this fight.
Time to get serious. Wait for it.
Oh, don't run towards me!
I'm not done yet. Wait for it. Auroral uppercut.
Oh, I have... Oh, I survived! Okay. I don't understand that mechanic at all.
You can't stop the flood of mortal existence.
Is she mortal in this version?
Ouch, that was a good one.
Oh, they've done the thing where she comments on stuff.
Eat this. Take this wasn't how it was supposed to go.
I've a bone to pick with this one. But first,
The only way out is forward.
Right. Have they allowed us to wear the Archangel's hat? They have not.
a forest, huh?
Pass. A forest?
Go. We'll look after the girl.
Oh, the Boyahda Tree. Oh, great. Fucking spiders. Oh god, Aquarius is here as well. Oh, this is just fan service.
On your guard.
The fact. Oh, good. It's one of the worms. I can't. Is this Nidhogg?
A dragon. But surely
I can't remember. Oh, it's Fafnir. Ba, 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 ba. Fafnir raises its tail. Oh shit, okay. Was the little Tweety bird noise for somebody there? Oh, this is too exciting. I shouldn't be doing this. Not with how I'm feeling. Oh shit! Okay. So the mouth is a spin attack. I completely cocked up my rotation then. What was the Tweety bird noise? Ah. And dead. Oh, jeez. Okay. Ow. Darters. Oh, no. I remember darters. Okay, how am I supposed to avoid that? Right, tail. Tail up equals in front. Okay, so what am I missing there? Oh, that's wings. Right, is this circle again? Yes. So if he does offensive posture in the air and he's got his fire breathing, and this is that's a tank buster. Spinning he will go. Oh dear. There's a lot to try and deal with in this, which is nice. It's nice that they've actually got a little bit of stuff. It doesn't help that that my heart is not cooperating. You might as well just leave me dead, dude. I'm not helping with this at all.
Teleportation magic. Oh, brace yourselves.
Oh, they're not going to raise me.
So well.
Oh, they're using the crystals. Ending stuff. Right, where are we going now? Yeah, so we're just doing a fun tour de force of... Oh! Oh! We're in Sky! No. Yes. Wow. Magic pots! And they've got the music as well.
There's something about that big tower.
I'm coming back here in Explorer mode in a bit. Can you do Explorer mode in 24 mans? I can't remember. Ah, that's so cool. I like the detail on the ground. Despots? I also like that we've got a bit of trash. Those 5, as in the Archangels. Are the Archangels going to be... where did it go? I'm assuming this glowing sigil has something to do with it.
5 of them.
Oh.
This should be interesting.
Like, they've really just taken the music and... Yeah. We're gonna fight the freaking Archangels. Okay. Okay, so some of these are magic resistance.
You shall be burned by the rage that controls you.
Ouch.
You shall be consumed by the cowardice that binds you.
So we've got Archangel Galka, Archangel Taru, Archangel Mithra. That's only 3 of them.
You shall be twisted by the envy that drives you.
Ooh, that looks like death for everybody. Oof, indeed.
Rage cleaves.
Our tower needs to be interrupted when casting Meteor. Exactly like in 11, yes. Yes, that was an out. Yep. Ru'Aun Gardens. That's a skill issue. Yeah, well. That's a not knowing what to do issue. Yes, there are 5 of them there. So we're going to get different 3 each time. Because that would be really interesting.
You shall be burned by the rage that controls you.
I've got the
You shall be consumed by the cowardice that binds you. You shall be twisted by the envy that drives you.
I've got the actual actual catchphrases.
Rage cleaves.
Cowardice dismembers.
I was standing in the wrong place? I think I was standing in the wrong place. Uh-oh. Oh, the other two are coming in.
You shall be smothered by the arrogance that consumes you.
Ooh, she's sneery.
You shall be defeated by the apathy that plagues you.
So we need to get her down before he casts Measurable and explodes himself. Nice. That's an interesting combination of mechanics. When did the tower come back? Hold on, there's 4 of them here.
You shall be consumed by the cowardice that binds you. Arrogance defiles.
Oh, that's sneaky. That was a big old tank buster spawning on top of everybody's stacks. Guillotine. Ugh. Oh, this is a good fight. got anything? Oh, we have got one of them down. Oh, that was good. I like that.
Urglamat chose her companions well.
Our next destination.
Oh, Castle Zvahl.
No doubt a warm reception awaits us. Let's go and have a look.
Oop.
What? Why only you?
Ah, the throne room. Nice. Shadow Lord it is then, I assume. So this is all original FF11. Not in the same order though. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum.
Mortals, allow me to show you the depths of my hatred and your folly!
Nice.
I cannot die! Not until I have eradicated you and your kind from this world!
Yeah. I actually guessed right. Do.
Frail mortals! I will tear your flesh and crush your bones!
Ow. Didn't move at all for that.
Flames of hatred! All how they burn!
Ooh.
There will be naught left of man but smoke and ash! Let the fires rise and rage!
Nope. Okay.
Before me, your demise shall portend the extinction of Altana's vile progeny! The darkness within me shall devour you all!
Sonic Fury.
This insult
Nightfall.
Give up your painful strivings. Give in to the darkness of oblivion.
Do I got her?
Funeral dirge has begun.
Ooh.
Mournful notes sing of your
Terror Slash.
wretched filth. Return to the feculent soil that birthed you.
Oof. So that wasn't a DPS check, that was a defensive and healing check. Right, left, back.
As the spate of my rage quenches the candle of your trivial existence.
No, shit. Oh, they're doing it as well. Yeah, I'll cock this up every time. Do, 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 do.
Can you born to justice withstand
Ooh.
the brunt of the deepest rancor and wrath?
Yes, Wolvers in a sec. I don't know why I've got Bloodbath on that key. There's a lot of people dead.
I will crush you like the insects you
Oh. Oh dear. Okay, that's a wipe. Oh, unless...
I will not fall. I will keep coming back until
Oh, we've got no healers up, so... Oh, but if we're lucky... I didn't have a chance to do anything then. This is a wipe. Oh no. Alliance B's back up. He's got fancy armour on, I hadn't noticed. What's the place? Oh.
the land trembles before my might.
So he turns anti-clockwise. Man, this is quite a lot too. Especially if, yeah.
Before me,
Doom arc.
I shall portend the extinction of Altana's vile progeny.
There'll be a lot of death here. So here, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes, I understood the mechanic. Surprising as that may be. Oh, did one of the... Oh, I think one of the healers for Group C just return to the starts. But the healers have given up on me. I don't blame them. Yeah, I think multiple people just return to the... Where actually is the... Oh, that's that. Yeah, that was made a lot longer than it necessarily needed to be because people just, I think, respawned at the start. There was one healer on each team. Well, on B and C. So they couldn't keep their team up. Okay, I've got a better concept of the mechanics. Let's move that to where it should be. I assume I got out of it because I was doing duty stuff.
I cannot die, not until I have eradicated you and your kind from this world. The land trembles before my might. Frail mortals, I will tear your flesh and crush your bones. Flames of hatred, all how they burn. and ash. Let the fires rise and rage! Kneel before me! Your demise shall portend the extinction of Altana's vile progeny!
This side.
The darkness within me shall devour you all! This insult, I will scour it away with your blood. Give up your painful strivings. Give in to the darkness of oblivion. Your funeral dirge has begun. Its mournful notes sing of your demise. Wretched filth, return to the feculent soil that birthed you!
I'm sorry, I'm concentrating and about all I can manage is the music. Okay, away from me. So here, here, here.
Behold, as the spate of my rage quenches the candle of your trivial existence.
So it's here, here, here. Didn't see the first one. Oh shit.
Can your vaunted justice withstand the brunt of the deepest rancor and wrath?
I'd forgotten how emo the Shadow Lord is. Ooh. I thought that had finished and it hadn't. Okay, so that's a weight.
I will crush you like the insects you are!
Okay.
Back until the fires of wrath consume me!
I totally follow the crowd for that. Oh, for God's sake.
Trembles before my might!
I do not understand how this one works. That's just going outwards and it's going to murder me. How? Oh, I'm struggling.
Kneel before me! Your demise shall portend the extinction of Altana's vile progeny!
Right, it's here. Here. Oh. That got a bleed on it? Can't see what's going on and I can't concentrate. I'm really sorry. That's the title music from... Is that the original title music? Why is the Zilart one? Right, what we got? Striking stuff. Pass. Aiming stuff. Quite nice. Pass. Healing circlets. Cool. Pass. And sadly pass. Yes, disappointingly, nothing I can really use. Please. And I'm totally... I didn't acquire anything there, and that's fine, because I don't think I deserved anything. Oh. That was Quite the dungeon, though, for in terms of length. Ooh, it's a simulation. Is this somewhere that Sven's also been and... Oh, back to Jeuno. Oh, but with shades. Because reasons. They look like the shades from the end of You All Light. Ah, that's the priest that we know. Yeah, I'm fine. Well, she's merely sleeping. It remains to be seen if she'll give us a fight when she wakes. Ah, she stirs. Hello. Ah! A two-headed lizard trying to take a bite out of me, huh? Scrawny thing like you would barely make a snack. Besides, we don't eat people. Alright, I'm a little on edge. If you've no quarrel with us, we've none with you. We only wish to talk. Can they really be trusted? Oh, you're asking us? I should know better than to judge people based on their appearance. Yes. What with you being immortal, potentially, at this point in the storyline? Who knows? It's fine. We're an intimidating specimen. I'm Preesh, by the way. Nice to meet you. I can explore! I mean, they could have updated the textures on this. Considering it's actually a thing in the game. Gods, what happened to this place? Indeed. The Jeuno music! Dee, 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 dee. Okay, Chamber of Commerce, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I wonder if they're going to change this over time, considering they could put in more of the original armour. Hold on. There's a trader here. Peculiar goblin. Ah, he's got the sheep music. Forgotten City, Shadow Lord, Depths of the Soul, Battle in the Dungeon 3, Tulia, battle theme from 11's Orchestrion Roll, Fighters of the Crystal, that's the Archangel's fight music, Castle Zvahl, Awakening, and Vana'diel March, which was the song from the title screen. Party looking dark samurai dragoon. Neptune Spire. One of these doors should open. Obviously, they already had the foundations of Jeuno, so it was very much just a remaster. They have changed some things, though. Yeah, isn't that where you could buy spells? But what has happened? They've even got the posters. Yeah, this is not quite how Jeuno should be. It's very close. It's a snippet, but there's a good chunk of it missing from that way. And around here... they've shut the doors off. I spent so much... She is a... thief? Yeah, she's wearing thief pants, probably leaping Lizzie boots. No, they don't look like that. Scorpion harness. That hat. Anything good from Aquarius? Never. Never fucking got anything good from Aquarius. The Mog House and the steps down to... I can't... Which version of Jeuno we're in Lower Jeuno. So, Port would be down. Can we go up and fight Matt? Anyway. There's much of this we don't understand, but what we do understand is the battle is won. For now, at least. What would otherwise have been a struggle... What would have otherwise been a struggle proved a decisive victory against the Dawn Servant Shade and the rest of those fiends. That is to say, thank you for your help, Temujin. Preesh, talk to me. It all began with a stone, or so the legends say. Was it a radiant jewel, shining and beautiful? Something along those lines. Preesh is almost definitely probably certain you are standing in Jeuno. Well, what seems to be left of it? What were your names again? I'm Temujin. Temujin does not talk like that. And this is Bakul Jajar, mighty and mystic. Temujin and Bakul Jajar. Right. I don't know where you're from, but I can tell I'd love to visit. Can't say I've ever seen anyone quite like you before. No, there are no Viera in FF11. If you're done with the small talk, would you mind explaining why you attacked us? What the world are you talking about? Don't play the fool with us. You were spouting nonsense about us being Taurus and nearly killed a man on your rampage. Well, I do recall fighting Taurus not long ago to protect Ulmia. Ulmia. A friend of hers, you say? That's all well and good, but she was addressing Galul Jajar's Shade with that name. The incantations needed to summon it are said to be based on a much older magic, one capable of clouding people's minds. If our enemy is skilled enough to summon Galul Jajar, it stands to reason such tricks are not beyond them. Meaning young Preesh here was likely tricked into believing the Shade was this Ulmia person. So it was all an illusion then. It's starting to come back to me. There was someone who warned me that a dear friend needed my protection. He was blue, like your left head, and he gave me those bizarre weapons. He was blue? Blue like me? I usually fight with my fists, but didn't think twice to accept what they gave me. I suppose their magic's to blame. In any case, I hope the real Ulmia hasn't been dragged into all this. Unless it wasn't what's-his-face, the mean right-hand man of Zvahl until he got thrown off the bridge. He wasn't blue, was he? Or was he? Because if he fell into a dimensional rift and that's where his storyline continues, is this, that would be nice. Because he was a cool villain. Can you tell us anything about the one you thought was your Ulmia? Where they might be hiding, perhaps? Would that I could, but when I got here I was all by my lonesome. Here being where exactly? Jeuno. At least, I think this is Jeuno. There was never anything like that here before. Mostly empty, but there are a few people lingering about if you know where to look. Maybe they can tell us something. Go with Preach and see what you can learn of this place and the whereabouts of that shade. We will remain here and keep watch on this rift. Oh, do you think you'd scare the populace, the cool Jaja? Preach is going to accompany us. Right then, let's have a look around. Oh, we should probably stop by the Tenshodo as well. It's in the back of Neptune's spire across the way from the fountain. Ah, yes. I remember. Preach is now accompanying you. You can leave Preach behind if you want. I don't know what this is called. Vermilion Cloak? Cape? Oh good, I was hoping to run into you two. I don't wish to be overly forward, but why were you speaking with Upper Muldra earlier? More importantly, what was it doing here? I would never dare venture beyond the shores of Urgahn unless... My gods, has Galul'Dajjal laid siege to Aht Urgahn? Is Jeuno next to fall? There's a Galul'Dajjal in 11. I don't know anything about sieges or invasions, but that Muldra over there is a friend of mine. Ain't nothing for you to worry about. The poor man's probably more confused than we are about all this. Yep. Bish, talk to me about this square. Adventurers gather from all corners of the world to buy and sell their spoils here. The taxes are a pain. Yeah, this is the auction house. But it's worth it for the wide selection. Just between you and me, though, I've heard you can cut a good deal with merchants peddling the wares just outside of town. Why is it closed? The auction house never closes. Maybe they're waiting for things to return back to normal around here. Whenever they reopen, I suggest you stop by. Who knows, you may get lucky and find something way below market price. Nice little reference to all the vendors. Your bazaar that you set up in shop outside of Jeuno. Lower Jeuno leads out to... Ooh, I can't remember. Nope, can't remember. As I said, it's been 15 plus years. You're new to Jeuno, aren't you? I can tell by the way you were taking in the sights. The city was built upon Heaven's Bridge, connecting the two great continents of Quan and Mindatia. I find there's an upper and lower level, a port, and the administrative plaza of Ru'Aun Gardens, where you'll find Matt. And try and beat him several times. At least you would have before. All ways in and out of Lower Jeuno appear to have been blocked or cut off. The situation here is worse than I thought. Is nobody pointing out the fact that everything around us seems to be completely wrecked? Because that's fairly significant. But with the fact that it's not normally completely wrecked or in an ocean. Well, and actually technically it is in an ocean, isn't it? Because as it says, it's a bridge. Ah, there's a Tenshodo. Wasn't this where you could get... Wasn't this the ninja place? And open. Ah, I guess we won't be meeting Aldo. He's head of the Tenshodo. The world's in danger. He's always there to lend me a hand. Reminds me of my friends. Lions, eh? That sounds like a competent lot. Unfortunately, we're on our own here. I do not remember Preach's story very well. I vaguely recall that during the events of base FF11 and the Rise of the Zilart expansion, I think it was revealed that she was also around doing stuff. So she was kind of retconned into the story. But it's been... When did I play Chains of Promathia? 2004? 2003? Something like that? 4, I think. What? Why is this blocked off? There's supposed to be stairs here leading up to the residential area. Ah, I swear, things get stranger here by the minutes. Yeah, I wanted to go to the Mog House and watch my Moogle spin round and round and round and round and round and round and round. Oh, don't do that. That was stupid. Ah. Oh dear. Huh. Can't say I've seen your sort around here before. Where are you from, stranger? Limsa Leminsa? Can't say I've heard of it. Most folks passing through hail from Sandoria, Bastock or Windhurst. Considering the present state of Jeuno, though, seems strange is becoming a common occurrence. I'd be lying if I said I'd heard of your homeland either. No, I'd be lying if I said I'd heard of your homeland either. But that's not important right now. At times like this, we need to know who can be trusted. Whatever's happening here, these people are just as bewildered as we are. We should go back and find Bakul Jajar, see if he's noticed anything. Indeed. It's a bit of a shame that they haven't created more of Jeuno, but let's see why they haven't. This was a common meeting place for people to show off their scorpion harnesses. Again, these are very, very outdated FF11 references. What is... It's these blocks. They are not looking familiar to anything I could think of. You know, this... Yeah, fair enough. Also, what's with all the crystally bits? And an umbrella. Because as I said, the bridge would continue out here for a decent chunk. This is only the very kind of tip. Returned at last. With answers, I hope. Not really. So, we're truly in this Jeuno, as she says. I've travelled all over Zvahl and never heard of a Jeuno, or Sandoria, or any of those other places. What in Altana's name is Zvahl? I thought all you Mamulja are from Aradaya. Aradaya? Ah! Who are you? Remind me. Preesh, you're alright. And she has you to thank, I'm sure. Nod. Thanks for caring, I guess. And who are you, exactly? I thought he was a friend of yours. What? I've never seen him before in my life. Uh-oh. Timey-wimey shenanigans? How can you say such a thing? I mean, you do look like the sort I might know, but I'm drawing a blank. What was the name, mister? Ah, my name is... What Slim No. You must be the one they found wounded in the Skydeep Cemetery. Well, we have to call you something. How about Alxal? Vagabond in the Mamulja tongue. Though it may be closer to adventurer in Demigen's Eorzean. Nicely chosen, brother. That does have a rather nice ring to it. Alxal it is. So is he a new character for this story then? Am I just being dense? So the fact that he doesn't know that we're in Jeuno, or at least a close approximation. Surely you remember this place, don't you? It does feel familiar. What's so special about this place anyway? And where did that damn shade get off to? None of this makes any sense. Nope. It's all nostalgia baiting for me, and that's fine. My, what a vexing predicament. It is you. That fucker. So this is where his story continues. Hey, that's the one that put me under a spell. I'm sure of it. So he was pushed off the bridge by Zvahl, and he fell into a rift. Ended up in some kind of approximation. That's a word. Approximation of Vana'diel. So the Bruno sycophant yet lives. What are you doing here? As you found me in a generous mood. Zvahl, that was his name. I thought I might enlighten you as to the nature of this place. Here's why you've come, isn't it? The young lady is correct. This is the Grand Duchy of Jeuno. So we really are in Jeuno, and yet something about it feels so off. Yes, the fact that most of it has been shortened and everything is floating outside. And also, you're dead. I never said this is the real one. It's an imitation, a rather convincing one, I might add, which I created based on visions of another world. The echoes of Vana'diel. Why do we look surprised? We've seen Amarot. You built this. Well, I did. While you and yours were holding the Dawn Servant's coronation, Zvahl and I ventured to the gate of the Golden City. Everything was proceeding as planned. The gate's key was in our possession, the power to reshape the world within our grasp. Or so I thought. And then that bastard pushed me off a bridge. In the eyes of the resilient sun, I was but a useless tool to be cast aside. By all rights, I should have died when he struck me down, but once the chamber was empty, the gate still open, I saw my chance. What I found, when I dragged myself across the threshold, was an emptiness. Oh. That's a very specific word. The emptiness, if you've played Final Fantasy XI. A space beyond time. It was there in this dark expanse I beheld another world. Rivian? Oh no, that world. These are from FF11. Malcolm Dunes, Castle Zvahl, Sandoria, Windurst. Can't remember the name of that place. That's the airship dock in Bastock. What was this place? This was the place. That's the place outside Windurst, isn't it? Where you get the Cardians, the name of which escapes me. And the port there is Selbina? What load of rubbish. As if anyone would believe that everything and everyone here is little more than one of your toys. Ooh. They just killed a man. Cubes. He turned to stone. So is this the same technology that they use in Living Memory? With Electrope? As I said, everything you see here is of my creation. Much like we fashioned a phantom of Galuldajar for the Feast of the Brotherhood, I was able to use our ceremonial tools to breathe life into my visions of Vana'diel. Under normal circumstances, my conjurings only have strength enough for a brief clash. With that stone, however, my magics are capable of so much more. Actually, that's not Electrope, is it? Oh, it is. Oh, it just doesn't have the sigils on it. Isn't that what Zvahl used to build his army? Electrope, you call it? Nod. Thank you for the confirmation, Demagen. Ah, electrope, you say? If you know its name, then I trust you also know these stones are possessed of immense power. Thus, it all began with a stone. Oops. It all began with a stone. Power enough for my creations to persist for as long as I please. So the bits outside floating are just unfinished? Fortunate then, that world between worlds was filled with structures made from electrope. More than I could ever hope for. That world between worlds was filled with structures made from electrope. Wait, if everything we see here, everything we believed was from Vana'diel is of your making, then am I? God, that would mean I am as well. You? Well, yes. Well, a trivial thread in the tapestry of my grand designs. What a wondrous weave it will be, made possible by the endless possibilities gleaned in that walk of echoes. The memories buried there, those remnants of echoes, will shape my dreams into reality. I once believed that dream lay in the resilient sun, but that bastard is dead to me. Well, he's dead, just in general. But my hand, Zvahl, will have the greatest rule the world has ever known. I've made an admirable start, but my work is far from finished. Very soon I will draw upon the echoes once more to summon the greatest beings of Vana'diel, and their strength will be made one with this magnificent shade. The reason and resolve which built the nation of Tuliolal matched with the uncompromising tyranny that commanded the Mulmuljar of that world. If you won't listen to reason, then maybe you'll listen to my fist. No, I will not let you sully the memories of Vana'diel. I have very fond memories of that place. Ah, that's the spirit. My preparations will take time, of course, but when I am ready, you can be certain I will call upon you to bear witness to my greatness. Zvahl, wait. Dot? Fish? Question mark? Damn it all. Just when I thought things couldn't become more complicated. Making sense of Alexandria was trouble enough, but now we have this Vana'diel to deal with as well. Can you imagine how Prish and Alexal must be feeling? What do you do when your very existence is called into question? Well, Prish has had reasonable amounts of experience. Mind you, this is quite a small Prish. Isn't she normally taller? Like, just a little bit taller? Or if they just use the kind of child Elizon model? Skeleton? I mean skeleton, this is custom. Is it a custom model? It's got custom details on it. I thought she was taller. She does look like a child here. Although, to be fair, the area were quite tall. It all began with a stone. That world was called Vana'diel. Try as I might, I can recall nothing of my past to refute Zvahl's claims. Prish, on the other hand, seems to know everything of her past, and who she is. Yet to be told the memories of your life are not your own, I can only imagine how she must feel. Now is not the time to be disheartened, at least not here anyway. I wouldn't trust anything made by Zvahl to be safe for long. Or to remain functional. That's not massively comforting. Let's return to Mamuk while we still can. My mother will want to know of what we've seen here. She's really tiny. Yes, the question of which version quote-unquote of Priest do we have here? Has he recreated? Because Priest starts off immortal. She's completely unkillable. And she's hundreds of years old, if I remember correctly. And it's only by the end of... I can't remember whether it's actually the end of Chains of Promathia or whether her story has multiple arcs out over multiple expansions. But I think it's by the end of Chains of Promathia, because isn't there that scene where she is with Ulmir standing on the cliff and we talk to her and the crystal that's in her chest shatters and her mortality reappears? And Ulmir sings... Can't even remember what it is she sings. It's the theme song, anyway. Oh, it's The Memory of the Stone, isn't it? Memoria del... Yeah. Again, it's been a long time. I'm glad to see you and Bakuljar return safely. You brought a new guest. Now that we've returned, I can see now this isn't the Mamuka that I know. ... Dun, 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 dun. There you are. I thought you should be the one to explain what happened out there in Yaktail. Yes, the person that doesn't really have a voice. Gesticulating. There we go. Fade up to black. Fade down from black. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum. Not simply from another territory, but another world entirely. That explains much of the initial confusion between us. Just another note about the music. I think this is basically beat for beat the orchestral versions of FF11's music. They haven't remixed it, they haven't recomposed it. This is just straight FF11 music. It might have been remastered audio quality wise, but I don't even think it is. I think it's just the music from the orchestral soundtracks of FF11. My apologies for any trouble I may have caused, and thank you for taking me in. Different worlds, yet we seem to have so much in common. I cannot help but wonder what it is that links the two together. Me! I played both games. What indeed? You mistook us for the Mamuldra of your Vana'diel when we first met. May I ask what they are like? Nothing at all like you and yours, even if they do bear a striking resemblance. There was a time when all the peoples of Vana'diel, the Mamuldra included, knew peace. But a tyrant possessed of a terrible power claimed rulership over the Mamuldra and turned them against us. Before we realised it, we were at war. A tale similar to ours in a way. A very few of us born with two heads grow to be immensely powerful. That power was used to justify our preeminence over all others. Was Gul'Jar part of the Treasures of Aht Urgahn storyline? Because they had Mamuldra, didn't they? I don't really remember that. Chains of Promathia was the expansion that I remember. But that is not who we are anymore. We can be better than our forebears. We will be better. Well said. All our hard work will be for nothing if Zvahl just succeeds in seizing the throne. Well, you'll not want for aid in stopping him, I promise you that. Oh, keen to lend a hand, are you? I don't need to know who I am to know the right thing to do. My blade? It's yours. On my honour as an adventurer of Vana'diel, we will put an end to Zvahl's schemes. If she were here, I'm sure she'd have done the same. Right then. I feel like I might be confusing Ulmir with somebody else because there were two. In fact, screw it. Where's my phone? Ulmir. I just want to know that I'm thinking of the right one. Yes, Ulmir is the singer. Right then. We can worry about whether or not I'm real another day. It's not like priests to have a crisis of faith. I'm not going to stand around and let this surreal drop piss all over the memories of my home. Oh, that's wonderfully written because that is 100% something priests would say. So you can count me in too. Don't think you forget about us. This all started in Yaktel, and we have a duty to keep our forests safe. Zvahl has left us without a trail to follow, and it's only a matter of time, probably about 6 months or so, before he reveals himself to challenge Demajan once more. And if you're to be ready, I think it prudent the two of you learn more of our world. An excellent idea, brother. We should start with Tuliolal and see to our own preparations while we're there. If you'd meet us at the dirigible landing, we will see Priest and Alsal to Tuliolal. Stumbling over all my words. The Corn Servant is our destination. All praise. Radiantly incandescent. This is the Selbina Fairy music, isn't it? Isn't this the music that you fish to? Do, 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 do. These balloon-powered airships are really something. I didn't expect the flight to be so smooth. Do, 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 do. So, this is Tuliolal. Before I forget, I couldn't help but notice how much you seem to know about me. Is there anything else you remember? Huh. I'm afraid I don't, and as you don't recognise me either, perhaps we weren't acquaintances after all. What I know of you was likely overheard in a tavern somewhere, patrons sharing stories of your famed exploits. The thing that entertains me, actually, with this particular person, is that I played basically a female version of him in FF11. My Demajan in FF11 was this hair. Admittedly, there weren't a great number of choices. But yeah, I played a female Elvan. I don't think I ever got this armour though. Yeah, I see. Well, I'll leave it at that then. I've probably got a picture of my Demajan from FF11 somewhere. Well, I know I have. In all its 420p glory or whatever they are, because the game ran at a really low resolution. I'll see if I can find some out and put some on the screen. Now, where to begin? I wish my heart was working properly. Just skipping beats. Now, where to begin? Brother, would it not be wise to first apprise the Landsguard of what's happened? Or would you prefer another stern lecture from the Vow of Reason? Ugh, let's see them rip off our tail. Fine. Could you keep them occupied while we see to the Landsguard? Maybe take them to eat or something. Ah, no. Take them to Auntie's to sample their tacos. Here, that first meal of yours we spoiled. Nice metal texture. And just so we're clear, we're not expecting to earn your forgiveness. No amount of good deeds will ever undo our past, but there's always time to build a better future. Nod. When you get there, tell her we sent you. She'll see that they're taken care of. The redemption of Bekuljaja. I find it interesting that they're tying it into the main story. Who am I? Auntie's tacos, eh? Let me guess, they serve tacos? Yeah, well done, Preach. I can hardly wait. I get tacos all the time back home. Although I suppose it wouldn't hurt to take a more scenic route. Maybe something along the way will help jog Alsal's memories. Alshal? Right, where can we go? Is there going to be... Yes, there is. Multiple scenic spots at which we can stop. Don't know why I'm trying to mount. We literally cannot do that here. Fish is too small. I think that's my one takeaway from this so far. Preach is just a smidge too small. I'm sure she used to be taller. Discuss alpacas. What in Altana's name is that? Do people actually ride those things? Chocobos are the only beasts I've ever seen used for riding in Vana'diel. If they have any, I'd sure like to see them. Ooh, we can talk to Alshal as well. Discuss alpacas. Those creatures remind me of the chocobos in Vana'diel. To say we adventurers found them indispensable would be no exaggeration. From shore to shore, they were our faithful companions, wheresoever the roads might lead us. Yes. Yes, chocobo porters were used a lot more in FF11. We did eventually get our own chocobo mount, didn't we? I forget. Yeah, there was a lot of running in 11. Discuss the gunner truck at Gleamsands. I cannot say why, but I've remembered something looking out at the sand dunes. There was a man out on the docks who claimed he could teach me new battle arts, but he would only agree... Oh, fuck off. But he would only agree on the condition that I retrieved for him a damselfly worm, an apron, and the fucking skull from the fucking ghouls that never spawned. I'm swearing a lot, aren't I? I'm very sorry. Give me the fucking skull ghoul has become such a meme for me and my best friend because we struggled so much to get him that damned ghoul skull. Damselfly worm, easy. Crab apron, easy. Skull from the ghouls? God no. I don't suppose you've met anyone in your travels who's made such queer requests? Yeah. Yeah, I have. My home's surrounded by ocean too, you know. It has the most beautiful views on a clear day. What did that quest do? Did it open your sub-job? It might have been opening a sub-job. My home is surrounded by ocean too, you know. It has the most beautiful views on a clear day. Not without the occasional monster, though. Just being able to walk around like this without your guard up all the time. Give me the skull ghoul. I'm so glad they've added that as a reference. Does that mean that other people memed about it as well? Because obviously it was 2002, 2003 when me and my friend started playing. It's not like the internet was quite so meme heavy. I happened to spy a few goblins on the way to the market. I remember them living in the major cities of Vana'diel as well. Of course, there was no shortage of the unscrupulous sort living in the wilds as well. They would gather in droves and give chase to adventurers, forcing anyone and everyone to retreat back to the safety of town. Garbage zone! Garbage zone! PTSD. So, these are the markets of Tuliolol. There's so many stands. I wouldn't know where to begin. It's enough to make my head spin. Some fruit would sure hit the spot right now. Oh, remember you were about to eat tacos? Weren't tacos a really good food for monk classes in 11? This is the place, right? I can smell the savoury meats already. And you must be Aunt T. The cool judge I recommended we sample your tacos, so I'll have 3 of your finest, please. I mean, you yes, you do technically use Gil in Vana'diel, but cool Jar Jar sent you, did he? Take a seat, and I'll be right over with a tray of our world-famous fare. World-famous? Not sure about that. That's a pretty sky. Tacos are tasty. And Preesh. I feel like Preesh and Gohatir would get along quite well. Tacos at long last. Oh, how I waited for this moment. Okay, that's all the facial budget gone. I thought nothing could match the finest flavour of our tacos, the rich flavour of our tacos back home, but the spicy seasoning of this meat is something else. And now I'm hungry. Meals on Bakul Jar Jar, so don't hold back. Pineapple things. Risha's taken the lead, but we won't be outdone, surely. Oh, I couldn't eat another bite. Thanks for treating us. It was almost like a taste of home. Thavnasia. When we first saw her, I thought her eyes looked very kind of matte, but maybe it was because she was under a thrall. Seeing as we still have a little extra time to ourselves, care to hear more about Vana'diel? Sure. Let me see how much of it I remember. Right, yes. That's Thavnasia. That's the opening place from the animated CG movie. We have got... I do not remember that at all. I remember this place. I can't remember what it was called, but I remember it. 20 years ago, the land was gripped by a terrible conflict, the Crystal War. 20 years ago. And it wasn't long before my home, Thavnasia, was drawn into the struggle. During their assault on the peninsula, the Beastmen launched a weapon so powerful it sundered the land, connecting us to the mainland. Those who survived fled to the Thavnasian safehold. Oh, was that what this was? Yes, that's the Thavnasian safehold. It wasn't much, but we were able to piece together a modest living down in those caves. Is he going to be confused by the timeline? Is he from a different... Sorry, I'm spoiling the mood, aren't I? You're an adventurer too, aren't you? Have you any tales of daring you can share with us? Nah, I've not done anything important. I've killed some gods and saved the universe and leveled up some fishing. What was that animation? Travelling to other worlds and saving this one from the very embodiment. Oh, yeah, we did tell her that story then. Wait, really? You're not just an adventurer, you're a goddamn living legend. Yes. Yes, I am. A hero and living legend. Yes, they could have updated this. It looks a little bit rushed. And, oh, speaking of living legends, sorry for the wait. No tacos for you, Bakul Jar Jar. There was much to reprise the land's god of, as you well know. That Zvahl Jar was behind the stolen relics and the sighting of Galul Jar Jar was understandably difficult for them to hear. And yet there were others enticed by the rumours of a strange portal in the woods. I've heard some foolhardy I've heard some foolhardy treasure seekers have even gone off looking for it. Uh-oh. A dangerous thought, knowing Zvahl could show up at any time with more of those echoes. Which is why I'm going back to Jeuno to make sure our people stay out of there. If you're going, then so are we. It's sitting around waiting. Ooh. Was that some screen tearing that I had then? I haven't had any of that in a while. I'm fairly sure I've had Tavnasian tacos before. They were famous for their heartiness and helped stave off fatigue. Perfect for those who often found themselves on the defensive in battle. Yeah, weren't they tank food? Tank food? Monk food? Good for defence, anyway. Maybe we should bring Wooklamat and that other friend of yours. Kral, was it? God, those tacos were bloody brilliant. Nothing better than good food and good company to pass the time. Look, there's more. Yay! Jeuno music! That's going straight on in my apartment. Well, would that we had the time to show you more of Tulialal. But we can't afford to have anyone wondering about in Jeuno. Then let us make haste to Yaktel. I wasn't expecting this to go on for so long. But equally, I don't want to stop now because I suspect we're pretty close to the end. So apologies for the stopping and starting and grunting and groaning. Again, this is one of the reasons why the camera isn't on, because you don't want to see this. The sooner we clear this place out, the better. It's hard to blame anyone for wanting to take a peek inside. Oh, I certainly would. I can only speak for myself, but the idea of running headlong through a mysterious rift to God knows where in search of treasure seems absurd. Tual has no shortage of legends like the City of Gold to inspire would-be treasure seekers. No risk is too great if they believe their dream could be realised. Efforts better spent on a more honest living, I'd say. Yeah, walking the noble path like you, brother. In any case, whoever we find in there, we have to get them out quickly. Oh, we have still got to find some wayward explorers in Jeuno. Hello, Zvahl thief. When I jumped through that rift, I was expecting a dungeon, or maybe a labyrinth, not whatever all this is. It's dangerous. I need to leave. Don't make me laugh. Not long ago, I heard someone crowing in the streets about some rare stone they found. Something like that could be worth a fortune. Not going anywhere if this riches just lying around for the taking. Okay. Oh, that's what the things in the sky are. They're the lights. Oh, this is an actual shared zone now. I love the fact that somebody's first instinct was to head to the fountain in Jeuno, sit on the steps and sway, because that is such an FF11 thing to do. I've never seen a city like this in Tural before. Dangerous, you say? Well, perhaps I should hold off on surveying further then. What a shame. I happened upon a rather curious stone I hope to take with me. It was stolen by some Tanawatwan boots. Without knowing the value of that stone, I can't say it's worth giving chase. But he ran off to the south if you mean to go after him. We're leaving now. If it's truly as dangerous as you say, I hope you'll be leaving soon as well. Killed a god, mates. I'll be fine. Who's the Tanawatwan? Yes. You come looking for some fancy trinkets too? Well, feast your eyes on this. It's a piece of electrope. We spoke with anyone who would listen, though a few were too stubborn to heed our warnings. A block of raw electrope? But how? I take it you're the one that found this. I'm sorry, but we can't let you leave with that stone, it's too dangerous. You expect me to just hand it over? Ah, this isn't Tuliolon, you have no authority here. I found it and I'm keeping it. This is for your own good. Put the stone down and walk away. Or else. Careful, brother. Lay a hand on him and the vow of resolve will never let us hear the end of it. Ugh, you're already in a debt as it is. Fine. You've come here to make your fortune, yes? And let me pay you for it. Well, that would certainly save me the trouble of finding a suitable buyer. Don't expect me to let it go for cheap. Oh, hello, people. We couldn't help but overhear you're selling an artifact found in these ruins. Whatever this gentleman's willing to pay, I assure you I can pay more. What is your outfit? Great. Just what we needed. What do you suppose we do now? Explaining the circumstances surrounding this place would likely take more time than we can afford. Ah, of course. Why not on an auction for the stone? An auction? That would certainly simplify matters. It would save you the trouble of bargaining with all interested parties separately and incentivises them to pay you handsomely lest they be outbid. Fine by me, but I'll only be accepting payment in gil. This money will be taking me overseas where I can finally live the life I've always wanted. Gotta watch out for the gil sellers. I told the auction I didn't get this over with. I'm guessing Alshal was inspired by the nearby auction house. So that was quick thinking. An auction should hopefully make things easier for Bakuljaja, assuming he can outbid his competition, of course. Okay. Okay. The following event cannot be skipped. Okay. Have they put a mini game in? If I may have your opening bids. Can you handle the bidding? We don't have much experience with auctions, but we do have coin you can use. We had 1 million gil saved up from our work with the Lands Guard. Hopefully that'll be enough. Okay. So, what's your offer? Oh. Guess I need to speak to the information. Foreign merchants relieved me of my stock a few minutes ago. It's a good thing they did. 1,500,000 gil, and I was forced to spend half of it in preparation for this expedition. So he has not got that much. So he's got 750k. I've no time for the back and forth of this bargaining nonsense. All I need is one bid to win that stone. That didn't help. Well, it's imperative that we recover the electro. It wouldn't do to show your hand too early. Be conservative. That's very preach. Well, I prefer not to. But we need to spend at least 750. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. No. Uh-huh. 760. Because we know he's only got 1 million. Aha! Finally, it's over. You have a knack for business dealings, Demagen. Yeah. Maybe you were merchant in another life. This looks to be all of it. The stone's yours. Why is he just carrying his money around with him? That was more expensive than I would have liked, but nothing a few hunt bills can't make up for. I hope. Yes, she does. Well done, friend. Now, let's have a look at that electrope. Yeah, there's presence. Oh, it feels familiar. The Shadow Lord. Whoa. There's no mistaking that deep and bitter malice. The stone must have served as the heart of the Shadow Lord's echo. He was a being of pure hatred, responsible for bringing about the Crystal War. I was part of the company that would eventually bring his reign of terror to an end. You helped defeat the Shadow Lord? So was I. I was there. Meaning Alsa must have been there with her. I don't remember ever hearing about that. With her? Which her? I forget. In any case, I will hold on to the electrope. We should hurry back and speak with the Landsguard. Ah, you. Excuse me, but were you speaking of the Shadow Lords just now? Yes. If there's more you wish to know, perhaps I can be of help. I've heard a great many tales of the fiend from the bards who frequent the taverns here in Jeuno. I've been waiting over yonder near the fountain for my companion to arrive, but you're welcome to speak with me until they do. He said companions, plural. I can read. I really like that armour. I always like that armour. And that armour. A most welcome offer, though there is much to be said for a first-hand encounter with the echo in question. Perhaps we can revisit these tales another time after we've made certain no more treasure hunters can readily gain entry. Let's return to Tuli Island and speak with the Lands God. Temujin, come and meet us at Bright Plume Post. Sure. Ah, there you are. If you have any burning questions about this place or anything else in Vana'diel, I will be happy to answer them. Me? I'm no adventurer of any particular renown, if that's what you were expecting. Just a man come from Bastok looking to see more of the world. While I lack in fame, I make up for it with the strength of numbers. I have no shortage of friends willing to accompany me in pursuit of riches should I reach out via Link Pearl. The armour I wear is proof of our accomplishments, salvaged from the depths of the Alzadal undersea ruins. I never went there. But that is one of the places that my best friend spent a lot of time doing with our static. That said, I treasure my time with them more than any trinket or bauble we've unearthed on our travels together. You understand, surely? Nod. Fafnir. I don't think I ever fought Fafnir. The great dragon that slumbers in the depths of the Boyahda Tree? Yes, I know it, as does anyone who would dare venture into Zilart. No, I must have done. Yes, I went to the Sanctuary of Zilart a lot. The music in the Sanctuary was one of my favourite pieces of music in 11. Stories of a great hero did battle with a dragon. The harrowing encounter concluded with a strike at its heart with the fabled blade Riddle. If only they hadn't missed their mark. The blade is said to remain nested in the beast's bosom even to this day. To survive such a blow and live for all these years bespeaks a strength I struggle to imagine. Yes, Riddle was a drop from Fafnir, if I remember correctly. And yet the tales of its might have not deterred the brave and foolhardy from venturing in the tree. Hopefully they can slay Fafnir and claim its spoils. Few have reached the dragon's area and lived to tell of it. Oh, it'd be so cool to see all of 11 remade in this engine, or a better engine than this, which admittedly at this point in time shouldn't be difficult. The Archangels. This was my goal. That sword and shield combat. Oh, can we get the weapons? That'd be cool if we could get the weapons. I've heard stories of the 5 warriors clad in black. If the fates are kind, I will never have the poor fortune to cross paths with them. They were not born, but forged from crystal, assuming the legends are true. The dawn goddess Altana wept 5 tears that gave birth to the 5 races: Hume, Elvarn, Taru, Mithra and Galka. The Archangels are said to be the embodiment of their sins. Apathy, arrogance, cowardice, envy, rage, the darkness that lurks within us all. No one is certain why they were created. The prevailing theory is they served as guardians of some ancient paradise. Indeed. Boom. Great darkness of the Northlands, hatred made manifest. There's not a soul in all of Vana'diel who doesn't know the Shadow Lord. His sole desire was to bring about the extinction of Altana's children. And so he rallied together the Beastmen, inciting what came to be known as the Crystal War. I feel like I'm going to have to redub some of this. The Beastmen's assault was merciless, and it was not long before Bastok, Sandoria and Windurst were brought to their knees. It was only after Archduke Camlanau convinced them to join forces with the Grand Duchy of Jeuno that they gained the momentum needed to push back. One of the things I'm looking forward to with this FF11 stuff is finding out how other people pronounce the names of places, because obviously there was no voice acting in 11. So I'm sure people pronounce things differently. Hell, I had a conversation with my mates a couple of years ago, and we were talking about one of the places outside Jeuno, actually, and I discovered that he pronounces it in a completely different way to how I pronounce it. United as the Alliance of Altana, they would eventually drive the beastmen back from their lands and soon found themselves going on the offensive in Zakabad. The Alliance proved victorious in the end, but not without a great many sacrifices. Peace had been restored to Vana'diel, for a time at least. The Shadow Lord was somehow resurrected 20 years later, but thankfully he was slain before the beastmen could be emboldened to take arms a second time. There's much speculation as to his origins. Most believe he was once a Galka, if you can believe it. I can, and he was. He was betrayed by one of his companions, mortally wounded and left to die. A dear friend of his was also said to have been cut down in the altercation. A dear friend of his was cut down in that? Don't remember that. He succumbed to his wounds, but his rage and despair would remain, giving life to the Shadow Lord. If what you say is true, and he's returned once more, perhaps the flames of his hatred can never truly be extinguished. Yes, I think that was your lot, wasn't it? Yes. Once again, we're left with nothing but time on our hands until Zvahl shows himself. I suppose there's no shortage of work to be done if we ask the Landsguard. You may be better served exploring Zvahl, familiarising yourself with the land. It wouldn't do to find yourself lost when you are needed most. An honest to God's adventure! What a great idea! You're coming with me, Alsal, and don't you dare say you're not interested. Any self-respecting adventurer would jump at a chance like this. I'll not deny the suggestion piques my interest. We warn you now, though, the winds of the wilds of Zvahl are rife with danger. It is no place for the unprepared. Ha! I welcome the challenge. She's doing a looking at the sky, hands on hips thing. I can hardly count the number of times Vana'diel has been visited by some world-ending calamity. No matter how dire things may have seemed, we found a way through, together. This will be no different, I'm sure of it. There's nothing we can't do so long as we have each other. Yes, I assume they're not going to put the immortal with crystal in chest part of the storyline in. Although she does have the big jewel. A band of adventurers barely met, united in the face of great peril. Just like old times. Are adventurers always so sentimental? Yes. Is that so terrible a thing? You two have always had each other, so... Hello! Ah, here he is. The moment we learn anything about Zvahl's movements, I've asked him to contact you. I like Preesh. I like Preesh a lot. I always liked Preesh as a character. I do wonder how well this stuff is coming across to somebody. Meanwhile, in the Echo to Leah, I wonder how this is coming across to somebody who didn't play 11. I love what they've done with the ground. Soon we will slaughter them all. Is that not so, Zvahl? Soon, my dawn servant, very soon. Then there shall be none to stop you from taking your rightful place on the throne. That's not his plan, though, is it? Unfortunate for me, he lacks the wisdom of the true Dawn Servant. But if he will be made fit to rule, I must choose from the echoes carefully. The Shadow Lords showed promise, but Vana'diel is a land of rich history. I needn't settle for those who are but a blink of an eye in the annals of history. We're going to get a hint. With the strength of the ancients, I will bring Zvahl, the whole world, to its knees. Yeah. That was wonderful. It was a whole load of nostalgia. A lot of things that I haven't thought about for over a decade. Raids, yeah. Nice. Just decided for the bin men to go past, so that's great. Apologies if you can hear the banging. That was really, really cool. The raid was good. I sucked at it, admittedly. I'm really not very well. I've been, believe it or not, I've been trying to hide it as best I can. This is me trying to downplay the damn thing. So no long outro for this because I need to go and lie down. That was really cool. Lots of nostalgia baiting. It just makes me wish that I could run around in FF11 with FF14's graphics. Realistically, it just makes me wonder what they are going to do for other bits. I mean, if we end up going to Promathia, and seeing what they do with that, FF14's got pretty good pedigree when it comes to really creepy, well-realised, otherworldly, spacey spaces. So the whole emptiness thing would be really interesting to see. I need to go and brush up on my Wings of the Goddess and Treasures of Aht Urgahn mythology, storyline, lore stuff, because I can't remember it. But equally, part of the fun of this is me trying to remember rather than just going and reading up on stuff. So whether I will or not, I don't know. Anyway, this has been 2 hours and 40 minutes of recording on top of whatever it was in the last little bit that I did. So I'm going to go. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope the I'm obviously ill thing hasn't been too off-putting. And once again, I'm sorry for not having the camera on, but this has very much cemented that this was the right move, not having it on. So apologies for the lack of facial reaction. Hopefully you've got a sense of what this has been like for somebody who played through FF11. If you didn't, if you know nothing of FF11 and you found this stuff interesting, give me a like and tell me so. If you didn't play 11, how has this stuff landed for you as you played it or as you've watched me play it and heard me recount tales and stories or half-remembered tidbits? I'm really interested because there's no way I can see this from somebody else's point of view. 5,400 hours or whatever it was in FF11 for me. I can't get rid of that short of hitting myself over the head an awful lot with a big heavy object, which I'd rather not do because I'm not feeling good as it is. Let me know what this was like as an experience for you. Thank you for sticking around. See you all later. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.